What's up, Kryptonians? Welcome back to my channel after yet another week-long hiatus. Today I'm going to be talking about Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. It is a sequel to Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge, which I believe came out a couple of years ago. The creator of the series, Ed Boon, is once again serving as a creative consultant on this, and it brings back a lot of the characters from Scorpion's Revenge, including Liu Kang, Lord Raiden, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, Jax, and it introduces a whole bunch of other characters. The story here is about a tournament that takes place on Outworld, where Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, and the rest of Earth's champions, they all team up to defend Earth in a fight for Earthrealm in a big tournament that will decide the fate of Mortal Kombat forever, basically. So obviously you got Shao Kahn, you got Shang Tsung, you know, you've got a whole bunch of other evil, unsavory characters that are trying to wipe out Earth's champions and therefore claim Earthrealm as part of Outworld. Meanwhile, you've got Scorpion, who once again escapes from the underworld, basically, and he is out looking for some mysterious magical artifact that the warlord Shinnok is also looking for. And also the new Sub-Zero, Kuai Liang, is hunting Scorpion while he is looking for this artifact. So that's essentially two stories that are going on simultaneously. You got Scorpion and the new Sub-Zero, and you've got Earth's champions fighting against Outworld in a tournament that will decide the fate of all the realms for all time. I don't know how many of you are new subscribers or if you've been subscribed to me for a while, but anybody who knows me knows I love me some Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is my shit. Mortal Kombat has been my shit for a very long time. I've been playing the games for a majority of my life. And for those who didn't actually watch my other review of Scorpion's Revenge, I really love that movie. In fact, I think that movie almost made my top 10 for 2019. At least I think it did. Did it come out in 2020? I can't remember if it came out in 2019 or 2020, but regardless, we have the sequel to that movie. This movie definitely feels a lot bigger than the previous film. One of the complaints from Scorpion's Revenge is that a lot of Mortal Kombat fans felt like that movie didn't really stick to the things that they like the most about Mortal Kombat. You know, they kind of did away with the whole traditional tournament format. You definitely don't have to worry about that in this movie. Kind of like when you're watching Dragon Ball Z back in the day and you see Goku and his friends competing in a tournament, and it always feels like there's this sense of finality to it, like it's the biggest, baddest tournament that's ever gonna exist, and you feel like there's high stakes for everybody involved. That's what this tournament essentially is. So if you wanted a return to formula, this movie definitely gives you that, and it definitely does a great job at expanding the world and the lore of Mortal Kombat. I was grinning from ear to ear for half of this movie because there's so many things that they decide to drop in this movie to further flesh out the lore of this world. Like, there's so many other characters that show up in this movie that weren't even in the first movie. Obviously, you've got your regulars, but you've also got Sector, you've got Cyrax, you've got Stryker, who I believe hasn't even showed up in any Mortal Kombat property since like MK11. A lot more Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung. You've got a new Sub-Zero. You've got Jade that shows up in this movie. I mean, Katana. There's just so many new characters that are introduced into this movie. Smoke also shows up in this movie. That was pretty awesome. You can definitely have fun with this movie and you can enjoy the lore, you can enjoy the characters without really knowing a whole lot about them. I will say, however, that if you are a big Mortal Kombat fan like I am, when you see things like the One Being show up in this movie and you see some of the other lore that's teased, it's like, holy shit, okay, this is the type of stuff that I was waiting for a Mortal Kombat movie to introduce. They utilize the same type of animation and it really does do wonders for the violence and the action and the gore that is prevalent throughout the entire runtime. In fact, if you were somewhat let down by the action for some reason in that one, I feel like you're not going to be let down by the action in this one. There's more violence, there's more blood, there's way more fights than there were in the previous film. That see-through X-ray vision effect from the first one, where you really get to see the brutality of the fatalities. Like, they get to take you inside the body and you get to really see like the effect of someone breaking somebody's arm or something like that. Like, you get to see that a lot more in this movie. Some pretty good animation. Once again, all of the voice actors come back and they do a very good job at capturing the characters that they're supposed to be portraying. And some of these voice actors are actually portraying more than one character, like maybe 3 to 4 at a time. I think this movie definitely suffers from some pacing issues. I think this movie could have definitely benefited from having like 10 to 15 more minutes of runtime. The pace is so absurdly fast in this movie. Like, you're basically just zooming from one fight to one scene to another, and you don't get a lot of chance to really allow certain things, the gravity of certain scenes, to sink in. Things happen and you can't even really process what's going on. You're like, oh shit, okay, so we're already doing this, and oh, okay, I'm just supposed to get emotionally invested in this, even though you just introduced it like 2 seconds ago. Also, there's some weird plot armor stuff that starts popping up towards the end of the movie where some of the fan favorite characters, it's not just like, oh, they're protected, nothing's gonna happen to them. It's really more like the plot armor sticks out between scenes. Like there may be one scene where a character gets fucked up in a really bad way, but then like in the very next scene, they're perfectly fine and there hasn't been any time shift or anything. So you're like, wait, how, what? Bottom line, I actually did have a good time watching this. I did enjoy it. I don't think I quite enjoyed it as much as Scorpion's Revenge. I think that one was more focused, had better pacing, a little bit more off the beaten path, and I appreciated it more for that. I somewhat enjoyed Battle of the Realms. I'm gonna leave this one in the Daily Planet. It's a solid 3 out of 5. Tell me, have you seen it? What did you think about it? What's your favorite Mortal Kombat movie of all time? Put that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.